Muley Point Overlook in Utah is located in the Four Corners area of the American Southwest. It consists of megalithic blocks that weigh several tons and are all constructed in precise right angles. The polygonal blocks are all built in similar dimensions. Not only are built with precision, but there are also a large number of them that are used to construct these polygonal floors. Large polygonal floors are connected to the trade routes of precious metals like gold and silver. This demonstration that I'll be showing will show the trade routes of Muley Point that are connected to these precious metals that are out there. And it'll be used by using the New Mexico Zia symbol, which has 16 rays that are extending from it, because the number 16 are the key. By using 25 equally spaced dots to create a 16 square grid, which are the template for the latitudes and longitudes, and the 16 diagonal lines that are extending from the center of these trade routes are associated also with these 16 square trade grids. These 16 lines are also directional: east, north, west, and south. There are also two examples of diagonal trade routes from Angel Island in Baja California to the Manitou Cliff Dwellings that are up there in Colorado that will be shown here in this example here. The example that is below it is the example that goes from Memphis, Egypt to the Tepes, or Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe, and then to Mount Ararat. Both are at the 29th latitude and the 39th latitude trade routes. Okay, everybody, this is a little bit of an example of how I go about doing my global mapping. You always hear me talking about it, but you never really ever got to see me really actually see how I do it. Well, I'm going to do is map out Muley Point Overlook, Utah. This is the area where the megalithic blocks that are big as Baalbek are being located all along this edge here. There's hundreds of 100-ton, 120-ton blocks throughout this entire area. And everybody thinking that it's, natural, and what's a natural cube? I mean, hundreds of natural cubes that are the same shape. That's kind of like dumb. But anyway, that's another point. But anyway, all these are located along here, and Muley Point is right here, which is in the middle of these block structures that are going here that are being shown on YouTube now, which are become the biggest hit. What I haven't told anybody is that I knew about Muley Point a while back, but I need to explain to you how I know about Muley Point. You see the longitude here, 37 degrees, 16 minutes, 26 seconds north. That's for the latitude. The longitude is 109 degrees, 56 minutes, 22 seconds west. To do my mapping, these are important, don't get me wrong, but they're usually at 0, 25, and 75, and fractions on modern man is a headache. But to do my mapping, these are still important, utilizing them, but they're usually for like 0.50 for the midpoint, which is, like 0.50, that would be what that would be. But anyway, back to what I was saying. What I use to do my global mapping is I take the latitude, this number, which is the 37 degrees, and I take the longitude, which is the 109 degrees, and I create a square. Now I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to see if I get this in a way that Colleen could see what I'm doing without, maybe I'll...
I'm good. No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Just do what you need to do.
Okay, see now, This is Muley Point Overlook, 37109. I start out with my first little square, which is right here, and over here. So I have a marking point, so I know the reference point where I'm starting from, because if I just start going off willy-nilly, there's going to be squares all over the place, and I'm going, where did I start, and where does it end? So now I got that little initial square there. Then I go to Muley Point Overlook, 37 degrees latitude. 37 degrees latitude. To make it even more, I'm going to put a big circle there so I know exactly which block it is. There's my 37 for right there. Then that 109, which is the longitude, I put on the bottom, which is the number underneath. So basically each square and block is really made out of latitudes and longitudes in reality. Real latitudes and longitudes, not just made up numbers. So what do I do with this 37109? I want to know how far it goes to. So I want to go to the 45th trade artery, which is the next main trade artery going to the northwest coast. So how do I do that? I need to go to 45, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42.
So each block is
43.
basically a latitude. That's what you're saying when
44.
you create your graphs.
It's the same grid layout as you do with a map in modern times. No different.
And within the block, your latitude is on top and your longitude is on the bottom.
Now I wanted to go to the 45th major trade artery. So that's 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Now I want to go down to the next latitude. So that's 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31.
31 degrees latitude. So this is basically your initial mapping.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and each block is a degree latitude going north or going south.
And each of these lines that I just created with this little thing, I go like this with, and I go like that with, and I go like this with, and I go like that with.
And so right now, all the things that you're making, they're all on the 100 and is that 109th degree?
Yeah, it's all based on the 100th degree, 109th longitude. Remember, longitude, that's the one going up and down, not the one going, vertical sideways. It's the longitude line going from north to south, basically. It's that line that's the longitude. For people that are not familiar with longitudes and latitudes.
Yeah, I always forget which one. I know it's latitude and longitudes, but I always forget which one.
Well, I'm like that too. I take it for granted that everybody knows what I know, and then I find out that they don't know what I know.
So it's going up and down, north and south. And then, so I'm going to assume that if you start moving to the left or to the right, that then you're moving degrees east or west.
Yeah, northeast and northwest.
By 1 degree. So that's how your mapping system goes.
But what I'm doing right now is the cardinal directions. Before I could put in the northwest by southwest, I need to know the cardinal directions.
Okay, so
north that's what
and
I'm
south.
doing is this is north and south, and
Got it.
That's what I'm. See this 37 right here?
Yes.
It's after this. I take that 37, and I want to know where it goes down to. 37, 36, 35, 34, 33.
So basically anyone could do this, but if they started with
32
with the numbers that you provide, then they could also themselves potentially map the whole globe using the same system.
The main reason why I'm showing the process is because down the road in our next global workshop, I want to teach people not only the technique, but I want them to map their area of the globe and then send it to us, and then we can map the entire Earth. See? Yeah. We get people from Australia, Europe, Asia, United States, Canada, and people a lot, and they send in their local, after what I teach them how to where to go to and all of that. Then it'll make my job easier. There's only one of me, and it's, there's only, and then with you, I mean, there's help too, but we need a small army, and these people are already out there in the world. See what I'm doing with this 109? This
Yes.
109, why I'm being repetitive on this 109, because it's the 109 longitude line, and it doesn't change because that's a north and south line. And that's why I'm putting the longitudes underneath here. So everything above it is latitudes. Underneath it is exact longitudes for exact trade locations that you don't have to dig up, dead people and bug them over it. You can do it this way, or be a glamorous garbage collector and, called an archaeologist.
So researchers could potentially map out, like, say if they're at Teotihuacan or Chaco. They could use this to map out, to see where other potential trade locations.
They can map it out, but they're missing one really important component of this whole thing. It won't mean crap to them because it's not in their cultural context or in their cultural world. They need a native person there to understand this whole concept. Because you can't make a European understand how an Indian thinks, just like you can't make an Indian think how a white man thinks. You need a native.
The native narrative needs to be...
You can't just make it a white man thing because it's just going to be a religious, political nonsense.
They're going to superimpose Western religion, Western ideology, and the way of thinking onto indigenous perspective, which is a completely different paradigm.
They're going to put their agendas to it, basically. Their religious and political spin on it.
Or colonial, because then it's going to become about looking for gold.
So now you see I'm doing a whole bunch of, like what is he doing in all these 109s? This is the whole 109 longitude going north. And this gives me an idea of where the major trade artery connects to up at the 45th degree longitude, which is the main trade artery going to the ocean and over to Polynesia and all the way to Asia and so forth. But you see my 109th with the repetitive. Now 37, and all I do is go.
Now you're going
38
north.
Going north.
That's 38 degrees north.
Then I go 39. That's 38, 39. I'm just going numerical in order. So just in case you're wondering. And the next one, it would be 40, which is the numerical order. 41, 41, 42, 42, 43, 43, 44, 44, 45. This is the main trade artery where it connects to up north, where it tells me where it's going to the Pacific Ocean from this point on. It's at the 45th degrees latitude and 109th longitude, which tells me down on that end. The other trade route where it connects to it, below it, is at 35. See where it's going, like 45 to 35?
Yep.
And this one is going to 35 to 109. What's 35, 109?
I don't know. What is that? Oh, that's Canyon de Chelly.
You're close. Agate House.
Oh, yes.
Painted Desert, Petrified Forest area.
Okay,
Agate House is the connection for the 35th latitude, just as much as this is the main artery for the 45th latitude. It'd be down this way, it'd be the 25th, but my paper stops there.
And Agate House is actually pretty cool. It's like a crystal house.
So what I'm going to do is to expedite this a little bit. I'm going to fill in the other arms, but I'm going to fill this one in last, and then you'll be able to understand. What I do is I create another grid. See to the side. You see that 38, 37 I have right here?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Now I go like this, and then I make two more here. Then there's that one there, and I make one here, and one there, and one here, and one there.
Okay.
And then see that's why I had that dot
there.
So
Muley Point is where the dot is.
Because that's why you need that reference point. If you don't have a reference point, you could get lost on any of these blocks. That's why I always put that little dot there.
That's your starting point. That reminds you where your starting point is.
Where did I start? Oh, I think it's one of these blocks. Which one? I don't know. That's where it gets funny. I've done that before, so that's why I know.
All right.
Well, that's
So,
why I learned the hard way. I gotta
so
do
those
that.
two initial blocks to the left and right are directly east and west. So it's the same. It's 109 degrees, but the
Mm-hmm.
number instead of I'm sorry, it's 108 degrees and then 110 degrees, which is
I'm gonna.
immediately to the left and right.
These are coming in to play in a second here, but first, that 37109 again. That where I started here.
Yes.
See that block right there?
Yes.
You continue it. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay, so now you're filling in
5.
your cardinal directions,
Yeah,
your
east and west
and west,
directions.
according to the latitudes and
So
longitudes.
I did 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay,
5.
that's
So
pretty
this like
straightforward.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So this
5.
planner that you have that has like little dots, those are handy. You can buy those at Walgreens.
Yeah, any graph paper will work.
Yeah.
I'm planning to get one that's going to be a big,
Like a bigger one?
that I can show on this video presentations that I could use a marker with. It's that big. It's at Staples. Thanks to the Patreon supporters, I'm able to get the supplies that we need to do our presentations now without difficulty. Before,
Okay,
it
so-
was all going to pay the rent and pay the bills and
So people who want to support this project, the Re-indigenizing Minds project, they can subscribe to you at patreon.com through
Yeah.
Re-indigenizing Minds.
It'll say
And then they-
Minds at Patreon.
Okay, and then they can also have access to unique presentations that nobody else in the world has regarding this system.
The system right now I'm showing right now is only going to our paying Patreon members. Did you know that?
Okay.
So this presentation right now is only going to our paying members.
Ah, okay.
See, that's why I'm saying that, they have access to what the public doesn't get to see on YouTube. They see me talk about it, but they never see how I go about doing it. And that's, so everything on here on this line, east to west, this is east and that's west.
Yep.
So I got to remember that when I'm going to the west, the numbers go up, the numbers go down when I'm going to the east. But that's another story. So I'm at 37. Remember how I did 109 all the way this way?
Yes.
That 37 is the same way this way.
So you're going to repeat 37 all the way to the left and all the way to the right.
Because it's constantly going to be 37 regardless of whatever, because that's the latitude that it's at is 37. So that pretty much marks the latitude line for 37. And then this is my 37 going to the west. And this is my 37 going to the east, which kind of gives me the directions of where the trade goes to.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, 37. I'm forgetting how to count. Okay, 37.
there we go.
Should be easy. It's just repetitive.
All right.
Okay.
So now you have your cardinal directions.
Now, we'll
on the
start with
GPS.
west. 109, like I said, to go this way, the latitudes go up. So 109, that makes this 110.
Okay. So now you're going towards
No,
California
that
from
makes
Muley
this-
Peak.
yep, going west.
Okay.
And that's 112.
Okay.
That's 113 longitude.
And then 114.
And then 114 longitude.
Okay.
So
And
37, 114 is where this ends on this end.
Yes.
Now
okay.
you go 109, and then you go the reverse on this one.
Because you're decreasing, because you're
8.
going back towards Greenwich.
'cause you're
Is it
going
Greenwich,
east,
England?
And the numbers decrease going that way.
Right.
So 107.
Is Greenwich the 0 degrees?
10
I'm trying to
yeah.
remember.
Yeah, Greenwich in England.
Yeah.
106, 105. They used to use Stonehenge before Greenwich, but that's another story. I'll have to
Okay.
talk about Stonehenge on one presentation because there's some things they don't know that it's associated with indigenous pie, whether they know
Right.
it or not. But that's for another presentation. Right now, teaching this process. Now you see what I know that it goes to 37
Okay.
latitude and it goes to 104 longitude. That's where this goes.
Yes.
To this
And the
area.
center point is Muley Peak in Utah.
Still that center point.
So
right
now you're going to go do the northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast,
there. What I'll do is I'll do
the
this
diagonal
on first here.
longitudes. Okay.
And this is the way to do it. See that these boxes I have on the side now,
Yes.
I go like this, and now that I know that what it is, see that's 110?
Yes.
I know that's going to be 110. See that?
Okay.
I know that's going to be 110. See that here?
Yep.
Then I know that's going to be 108
8.
because it's the same longitude line going north and south. 108. So that's how you put in the 108 on there. And then what is it going down from here? It's going down to 38.
From 37 is...
So what I do is it's at 38 latitude and it doesn't change.
Oh yeah, so you throw in those 38s at the top.
Yeah, because the latitude stays constant.
Okay.
Don't throw me any misinformation there, Colleen.
I think I read somewhere latitude, latitude. Think of it as a ladder. So that's...
Oh, that's a good way to think
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
a good way to remember what's
Okay.
latitude and what's longitude.
And now I put my little 36s here because it mirrors what's above it on 37. See, 37.
Because you climb up a ladder and down a ladder. So latitude, latitude.
Now here's the 36. And there's my 36s. And now you can see the 36s are starting to lay out the arms,
Okay.
the directions I'm going to go. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
I don't know if I can go 8, but I'm going to go as far as I can on my little diagonals. See the diagonal ones?
Yes.
1, 2.
Oh, so you just use the corners to kind of help launch you into the diagonals.
4, 5.
Okay.
I can go to 6. That's
Yeah,
that's
until you
still
run out of
decent enough.
paper.
And then the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna have to mark this. You know why I have to mark it?
I was gonna say it probably gets frustrating sometimes when you like start at the wrong point, and then you're like, I gotta
Yeah.
start all over again.
But I know that's going to be a square. So what I do is I still put the number in there anyway because I just make that, just pretend it's a square like this,
Oh, okay, I
See
got
you.
it. Yeah.
so it doesn't get lost.
So
in
I
it.
like how like from the center point out, like you can see that diagonal line. But now you're just gonna draw in the squares.
Yeah. Now I'm going to do the. This is the one that's going from. This is the northeast arm of the trade.
So from major points like Muley Peak or Muley Point.
Yeah, at the center point.
Yep. Then when you go out diagonally like this, that's when you can identify and locate other important trade routes.
That are connected.
Trade
to it.
locations.
See,
I
it's
should
connected
say,
diagonally this way,
on the trade routes.
and it's connected diagonally this way.
So the pattern I notice after you fill this out, they look like Navajo rug designs. And there's a lot of them in ancient pottery and in ancient weaving. So in a way, that's kind of like a mobile map.
Don't tell the South Americans, but it's in their fabrics from the ancient times, from before what the Incas even existed. It's in their burial and their mummies, the same design. They just don't know. They've been listening to those Spanish guys too much. And that's what they get.
Re-indigenize.
They need to
You want to
re-indigenize their minds.
re-indigenize. Okay.
Sorry, senors, but I had to tell you the truth. Because
Okay.
it's getting annoying sitting here and knowing the truth, and then, then people go, oh, it's all pseudoscience. Sure it is. Real pseudoscience
Sorry.
is over at
So
the university.
using this method, Roger, I think you have helped people actually identify and locate serpent mounds for certain tribes in the Northeast that they didn't even were aware of. They were not even aware of. So they didn't even know anything about it. And you helped them identify some serpent mounds.
Yeah, with my friend
I forgot what tribe that
David
was.
Nathan up in Micmac.
Oh, the Micmac.
Was with the knowledge that I gave him on these latitudes and longitudes, he went out looking, and he found a serpent mound, but you would be surprised where he found it.
Where did he find it?
Underwater in a lake.
What?
It was big as the one on Ohio, but nobody ever could see it because it was underwater in a lake.
Oh my God.
He went to that location and he looked and he said, "There's no serpent mound here. All there is a stupid lake." And then he went and looked in the lake and there it is.
Micmac. I kept, Lenape kept coming to my head, but I was like, it's not
That's George
Lenape.
Haas.
That's George Haas. Oh, George Haas does the Cydonia Institute for anybody who's interested, and we actually have information
We're
up
working
there
with him
too.
because he wants to map out Mars and similar what I'm showing you here.
Yep.
Down the road, I'll do that with him. But first, we need to map the Earth.
Right.
That's what I need help with. Okay, now this is the arms going to the northwest, and this is also going to the southwest.
Okay.
So now that's 37, right?
Yes.
38.
Yes.
Okay, now all you do is see this number right
Yeah,
here.
that's the same number, 39 on top.
You go 39.
So the numbers on top remain the same.
Yep.
So
Then it's just gonna
40
be
goes with 40. 41 goes with 41. So you're slowly moving up diagonally. 42. You know what I think is really ingenious about this, because it becomes like a diamond shape, is that in a way accounts for the curvature of the Earth.
It is. That's the whole idea. Is you got to go diagonally if you're going to travel in the ocean by a canoe. Because if you go in a straight line, you're not going to get to your arrival point, because you're not compensating for the curvature of the Earth.
Right.
And that's what these diagonal lines are all about, is compensating for the curvature of the Earth. So you got to go this way to find your locations. Because if you go in a straight line, you're not going to arrive there. 37, 36. Now let's go the other way. 35. Because I just got to go in reverse now.
Okay.
34.
So now
See how I'm going? I'm going numerical, going the other way now.
Your latitudes.
Yep.
Latitudes.
33 degrees.
They're going
latitude.
down. So
okay.
So you can always reference the box, the original box to the right, to say, oh, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be at. That's
now
like your
you know
check.
why I put that dot right there.
Yeah,
Because
that's
if
why
you
you
don't
do your
have
check.
that, you could be this. You could think it's that way.
You get
that
lost.
One, and then you
Yeah.
go, ah.
Yeah.
See how that little,
Cool.
it's not a square, but I still put a number there anyway.
Right.
Because that represents the next square box below it.
Okay.
Okay, now 109, 108. So it's going in reverse, right?
Okay, so now you're doing the longitudes.
All I do is 107.
Okay.
It's numerical, really.
So going
but what I'm
east-
doing is showing you mathematically why I'm
Right.
doing it. Because this is the longitude is 106 here, with my fingers. 105, which is the longitude where this is at.
And your ancient system actually works with the modern day system because of the conversion factor that you use with regards to 13, 26, and 16. So it's like
No, it works better than the modern system.
Okay.
3.25 times 9 makes 29.25, which is north, which is the exact latitude for the Giza pyramids in Egypt. It's more exact than this bullshit calendar we're using today. Don't give me that, what's like good as the one today. It's more accurate.
So I'm gonna say,
tell them to get their global location.
So-
Let's see them do that.
so what Roger is, so like when you use that number 3.25 and then you multiply it by 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, then what you start to get is the actual locations of ancient sacred sites, like
Not ancient, any place in the world.
sacred sites such
I
as
could find Easter Island.
Easter Island,
I could find any place in the world. Any
Angkor
location.
Wat, Nan Madol,
Mumbai, India.
Mumbai, India.
Gunung Padang, Indonesia.
The pyramids of Giza.
Nan Madol.
Chaco Canyon, Teotihuacan.
And it's
Like,
all these
exact
locations, even all the way up into
locations.
Altai Mountains in Siberia. Back to what we were doing, because
Okay,
you're
okay.
getting
Okay,
off
sorry.
on
I
a
just,
tangent
it's so
there.
exciting, Raj. That's all. I just
Yeah,
wanted
but
to share
I'm
that.
still trying to do my demonstration.
And my camera is a little dirty on the other side, so sorry about the fuzzy picture.
Anyway, 37, 109. Now I'm going this way up, because remember it's 110. So
Yes.
that's at 111. So I just got to make sure that's 111 this way, 111 that way, 112 here, because that matches with what's up there. 33 over here. I got to make it match what's on the longitude above it, which is that number right there. Then 32 right here. That matches the 114 that's above it. And then it terminates at 115 degrees longitude at 31 latitude.
And it terminates because you ran out of page.
Right at the very tip. But anyway, that's the arm going up here, which tells you that it ends at 43, 103, 31, 115.
Okay.
Which is in line with that one over here.
Okie doke.
Okay, now, you saw how I did this? North, east, and then
Yes.
southeast. Okay. Now I'm gonna go the other arm. Let's see, I did 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right.
5, 6. You wonder why I'm counting these numbers. Everything is by bilateral symmetry. If I go 6 this way, I need to go 6 that way. That's
Okay.
if you're wondering why the logic is
So,
there. 1, 2,
so with regards
3,
to bilateral symmetry, just think totem pole
4,
art. It's
5.
sacred geometry. It's the application of sacred geometry because you're mirroring. There, you can apply sacred geometry in a couple ways. You can mirror images, but you can also reverse images. So you can also apply this to ancient petroglyphs, ancient art, architecture. And when you start doing that, then you start to see three-dimensional images. You can actually animate things. So let's say you're looking at a disc, an ancient disc of some sort, and you apply sacred geometry. Maybe you get a mirror and you just put it on top of that picture of that disc. You don't even need the actual item. It could just be, you could pull out an ancient art book. You could take your mirror, and if it's a disc, you would center the mirror on the disc
And rotate it.
and rotate it. And you could rotate it one way, you could rotate it the other way, and then you'll find that sometimes there's actually little markers. So when you line up your mirror to the different markers, you'll actually see different things. So it becomes an animation.
It's a visual book.
Right. And then if you're looking at a panel, that's where you would either pass it left and right, pass it or up and down. So if it's like a flat panel and not a disc, you can apply sacred geometry that way. Very low tech. Just use a mirror with no edge or a very thin edge, and you can just apply sacred geometry to photographs, to people. But definitely with ancient art, you'll actually start to see an animation of things. If you want to go more high tech with, let's say, Adobe Photoshop, then you can start doing things like reverse imaging, where you take an image, you flip it over, and you place it over itself. You kind of line it up so that it's also symmetrically balanced. And then you can move that again, either left or right, up or down. Or if it's a disc, you can also turn it in a circle. And so that's how you can animate. And so this is a visual language. And in this particular case, Roger is applying sacred geometry to this global mapping system using the cardinal directions and do they have a term for in-between directions? Like north, west, northeast. I don't know what that would be called.
On the northeast, not southwest.
Right. So this particular design is embedded in pottery. It's embedded in clothing. I would even say all around the world, not just in the Americas. So, yeah, this is a way to identify ancient trade locations from important points.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with archaeology or anthropology, it really. And this would help those people if they would just take us more serious. But the Europeans, they know it all. So what can I say?
Well, one of the math teachers who is not native, he actually said, that he kind of described it as trigonometry.
No, his eyes bugged out. He said my map of South America is a treasure map. Then his eyes bugged out. That's what he said. This isn't a map. This is a treasure map. And I took it away from him and said, "Whoop, dude, you're getting gaga for the gold. I need to take that away from you. Why? You're going to start foaming at the mouth." Okay, now here we go. Back to what we're doing.
Okay.
I got my little squares lined out here. So let's do this is going northwest. In other words, my neck of the woods, of where I'm from, the Washington State, Oregon area.
Okay.
37, 109, and 38. So this is going to be 39, now that I know where I'm at. That's 39, and that's going to be 40. Because if you're noticing, I'm matching it with that right there.
Your latitudes, latitudes.
And 41.
Okay, so you're going up north.
42. 43.
Okay.
And the reason I have these others on the other side, because this continuing that way. It's just I don't have
Okay.
enough room.
You ran out of paper.
Ran out of paper, but
So
it's
now
the
you're
same
starting.
straight line.
Okay,
So we see that 43?
Yep, I'm gonna start it there.
44. See where I'm continuing now?
Yes.
But
So
it's really
a lot,
the same straight alignment going
and
that
you
way.
do this with a lot of your maps. I notice when you run out of room, but you want to share where that particular diagonal line is going, you'll start it off like
That's
that.
why I need that big paper from Staples.
Yep. Yep. Big giant paper.
It's big and it's got everything I need to get the whole globe in if I wanted to. 46, and then it's going to 47 this way.
Okay.
Okay, now let me make sure 43, that's numerical. Okay, 110. Okay.
Okay.
111, like I'm doing here.
Okay, so now you're doing the
1,
longitudes. So you're going
12,
west.
Yeah, like
with
I'm
the
doing
numbers.
Again.
Okay.
113 this way. 114, but you notice I ran out of numbers.
Okay.
But it's still numerical, so I still know what
So
it is.
you're at 115 now.
So this will be 115, and I just keep counting up from
so that new starting
to
point, which is here.
116, bloop, bloop, 117, 118,
and 119.
119.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, and then see about that 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42. I gotta make sure.
And you should always double check your numbers.
Yeah, because sometimes if you miss one number in the wrong way, it'll throw you totally off. It's like no different than
it's like calendar keeping.
It's no different.
We both said the same thing.
Now 37, 36, and now I'm going this way now.
And what Roger means by calendar keeping is we actually keep track of the 260-day calendar on our Gregorian calendars. A lot of times we do it by hand. Sometimes I get lost in time if I get busy with work, like regular work stuff, my day job. But I'll try in my head to go back to the last day that I remembered, and then I'll count forward in my head. So we have like the 20 day names, which are on the 260-day calendar. Those are alligator, wind house, lizard, serpent, death, deer, rabbit, water dog, monkey, herb, breed, jaguar, eagle, condor, movement, flint, and rain, and flower. So those are the 20 day names. And then the numbers for the day would be run from 1 to 13. So the first day of the 260-day calendar is 1 alligator, followed by 2 wind, 3 house, and so on and so forth. So when you calendar keep and you're keeping track of this on the regular 260-day, on the regular Gregorian calendar, like it's probably a good idea to do it in pencil, because you get confused easily. And I usually try to stick to day names first. I'll just do the day names, and then I'll go back and I'll do numbering. But even the numbering system, sometimes I'll go 14, and then I'll be like, oh my God, I have to erase that or scribble it out if it's a pen. So it is really good to check out. And I notice that when I'm calendar keeping, like usually by 3 months, that's about when I start to make mistakes. So you kind of have to take breaks. This is almost like a meditation, because it's numbers. It's like you're in the zone when you start doing this.
Okay, put a big circle here.
This will be fun to do with Mars. Finding the starting point would be interesting, though, on Mars.
I need my other book. 47, 119. Where's 47, 119? 47, 119. I've got so many charts. So many charts and so little time. 47.
Well, I got to get going soon, Raj.
Okay.
Maybe you can.
Well, anyway, let's get this together here. Where I'm pointing out this here, this whole thing here. You see the dot that I'm putting right here?
Yes.
This stands for in between 34 and 33 and 106 and 105. And what do I mean?
Oh, it's like the half point. The half
So
degree.
it's the midpoint. So what's the midpoint between that? That means that means this is at 33. Let's see, did I do that? Yeah. 33. See
33
that number right here?
Yep, 33 degree latitude.
33. And then you take the other number that's above it and the longitude for the midpoint, 106.
Okay.
See that 106?
So, so if anybody looks at your charts, that's kind of what that
The layout is like.
notation is. When you have that slash, you're actually referring to a point.
Yes, it's talking
That
about
is the
latitude,
midpoint.
longitude, and if
Yeah.
there's a line, that's the dividing between the two.
Okay.
See now that 33 degrees latitude, 106 longitude.
Yes.
Now look at Three Rivers. 33, 106. Petroglyphs. This is the Three Rivers Petroglyphs Park in southern New Mexico, which is connected to Muley Point, which is running all the way up to here to the 46-119 area. Mount Rainier is in the general vicinity, but I'm going to be honest with you. The location that it's going to at 47-119 is on the side of Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier is a little to the side, but where's it going? It's going to Vancouver, where the Fraser and the Columbia Rivers are merged before it goes to Vancouver Island. And why is it going to Vancouver Island? Because Vancouver Island, you could start as a trade alignment, goes directly to Hawaii, and it goes out directly into Asia from that point on.
So that's like a really major point, because then you're going the other way, the other southeast or southwest direction.
If you go up to Bella Cola, it takes you to the Gosford Glyphs in Australia. If you go to Grace Harbor in Quinault, it takes you to Eagle Hawk Neck at the Tasmanian Islands. And what is that Eagle Hawk Nest alignment at the Tasmanian Islands? Gold, oil, and precious metals.
Okay, so I wanted to say Sunday school over, but thank you for sharing this information, Raj. I think it will be very straightforward for people to understand your mapping system now. And if they have any questions, they can always email or contact you through Facebook or through the Patreon website. So yeah, support Re-Indigenizing Minds on Patreon if you want to support this work that Roger is doing.
And it was an honor to actually show you the process, because I've always talked about it for all this time on Carl Crutch's program, our program, but I was never able to ever really demonstrate how I do it. And I'm really proud that I'm able to show you now the process so that you understand it. Because on the next global mapping workshop, I'm going to teach people how to do this, and you're going to learn how to do this for your local area and help us to map the entire globe from your area to our globe, and we'll patch it all together, and we'll put this whole trade network back together all the way from Europe to here to Asia to Australia and South America and beyond.
Okay. Thank you, Raj.
Bye. I hope you learned what I do now. This is the work that I do.
Okay. Thank you, Raj.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.